Never be fixed. Princess Kate turns on Harry over Prince William feud. The Princess of Wales is said to be done with Prince Harry and has given up the role she was once infamous for.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to the King YouTube channel.
For basically as long as the British monarchy has been around, there have been women behind the scenes who have been made to tidy up some royal messes. Sometimes they were queens, sometimes they were princesses, sometimes duchesses. Not only were they responsible for keeping their husbands happy and having some kids, but they were also responsible for cooling some tempers and helping to smooth things over with the continent. For example, let's look at Queen Philippa, the wife of Edward III, who managed to convince her husband not to kill a lot of Calais after the 100 Years' War. Or what about Margaret of Anjou, who married Henry VI to help figure out a peace deal between England and France? That is a tradition that even now, more than 500 years later, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, is done with. She is finished. For years now, we have heard that it's Catherine who plays peacemaker in the often nasty transatlantic fight between brothers that has destroyed the relationship between Harry and William. This is a feud that has dominated front pages, but apparently Catherine has decided to get on with her life, and she has given up her role as peacemaker. This information is coming to us from Jenny Bond, who was the BBC's royal correspondent for 14 years. In an interview with OK Magazine, Jenny Bond revealed that Catherine has come to the conclusion that the relationship cannot be fixed, at least for now. So it looks like Harry and Meghan and their invisible kids are not going to be invited over to the Wales home anytime soon. And this comes after a good 2 years of Catherine trying to fix the relationship. Let's look at what happened back in April of 2021. Barely even a month before that, Harry and Meghan had sat for a long interview with Oprah, and boy had they dished the royal dirt. And of course they knew that 99-year-old Prince Philip had been in the hospital for weeks and things were not looking good, but that was not enough reason for them to stop this all-out attack. On April 9th, Harry's grandfather Prince Philip passed away, and soon enough Harry came back to the UK for the funeral on April 17th. Now at the time Meghan was supposedly pregnant, and there were still heavy COVID travel restrictions, so she remained in the US. With claims about an unborn baby's skin color, unconscious bias, and supposedly this callous disregard for Meghan's mental health still reverberating, the question of the day was, how was Harry going to be treated by his family at the funeral? Was he going to be treated like a pariah? Was he going to be ignored? Of course, Catherine came to the rescue as always. She was the first member of the family to actually talk to Harry after the service, in full view of the media. After a few moments of what we would have to assume was very polite chit-chat, William joined in, and then Catherine left, leaving the brothers to talk to each other by themselves. If we didn't know it before then, that's when we found out that Catherine could be quite the diplomat. And now we know, thanks to Harry's book Spare, that what came after that same day was some outdoors yelling with William and King Charles begging the two of them, "Please, boys, don't make my final years a misery." Catherine tried, but it doesn't look like she succeeded. And another thing to consider, for years, Catherine and Harry were incredibly close. I mean, they were thick as thieves. You could tell their relationship was genuine. I mean, they shared inside jokes. They really enjoyed spending time with each other. And in the years since then, we have seen basically the same thing play out. Reports have suggested that Catherine was working behind the scenes to bring William and Harry back together for some reconciliation. As Bond has said, when you come from a happy, united family, as Catherine does, it's incredibly hard to understand how people can become estranged. I think she believed the rift could be fixed. But that was before the Harry and Meghan docuseries. That was before Spare, which made William look like a petty bully who felt threatened by Meghan and Harry's popularity. And they portrayed Catherine as a snobbish, cold, unfeeling sort of person who didn't want to let Meghan borrow her lip gloss. Ever since that Oprah interview, a lot has happened. Last month, royal biographer Tom Quinn, author of Gilded Youth, An Intimate History of Growing Up in the Royal Family, told the Daily Express US, "I interviewed people that worked for Harry and Meghan when they were in England. I also interviewed people that worked for Kate and William. They say privately there's a lot more anger than there is publicly. William and Kate are especially furious about the accusation that William physically assaulted Harry." So now we are very much in the after period. And after, according to Bond, that's not going to result in Catherine trying to get William and Harry to go talk things out. There comes a point when you just have to accept that happy families are not a game that everyone can play, she said. Catherine has been hurt and insulted by things that Harry and Meghan have said, but she and William are a very strong team, and I suspect that together they've come to the conclusion that the rift with Harry cannot be fixed in the foreseeable future. They've closed their minds to that possibility and decided to get on with their lives. This really gives us a new perspective into who Catherine is as a person. Sometimes she seems like the gorgeous, dutiful, supportive wife, and that's the role that she plays. But behind that is a lot of power. While Catherine is an amazing support system to her husband, she's also got opinions and thoughts and feelings of her very own, and she's not afraid to share them. And when you think about it, this is not even the first time that we have found out about this other side of Catherine. Back in July, when the updated edition of Valentine Lowe's book, Courtiers, revealed that it was Catherine who was so important in making sure there was some strength to Buckingham Palace's official response to Meghan and Harry's Oprah interview. In the hours that came after the primetime special, aides had come up with a statement, and they weren't sure about the inclusion of the now famous phrase, recollections may vary. An insider told Lowe it was Kate who clearly made the point, history will judge this statement, and unless this phrase or a phrase like it is included, everything that they have said will be taken as true. Now, interestingly enough, Catherine has never made any public comment on Harry's attacks and his complaints, and aside from one off-the-cuff line in March of 2021, neither has William. Instead, William and Catherine have depended on the very British strategy of just getting on with things. Earlier this month, The Telegraph reported that William himself has been determined to focus on the long term rather than the immediate drama of the past few turbulent years. And a source who supposedly knows the prince well told the paper's Hannah Furness that William and Catherine's long-term role is to stay out of the world of celebrity culture. There is a sense of calm consistency and service. And this is a strategy that has certainly been paying off. William's recent trip to New York was such a success, and William was recently voted by a Gallup poll as the most popular world leader among Americans. William's also doing great in the UK. A recent survey by the Daily Mail found that almost 2/3 of respondents want King Charles to give his oldest son more duties in the years to come, and they view William as the king in waiting. And what about Catherine? Well, she's more than busy enough. She's got a royal foundation of her very own to run. She's got 3 beautiful kids to raise. So it sounds like even if Catherine has to give up the role of peacemaker, she'll be just fine. And you, what do you think about Harry and Meghan? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments section. If you preferred our video this evening, don't be afraid to like and share it with your friends and relatives who would also enjoy it.
Please don't forget to subscribe to our The King YouTube channel to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a lovely evening, and we'll be back to see you tomorrow. Bye. I love you all.